As a kid, I could have used a little more love and affection. This was the first answer that came to me as I worked on this archaeology exercise, responding to questions about my childhood. The speed at which it surfaced made me understand what people mean when they say their heart skipped a bit. My eyes welled up at the realization, but I had 19 more questions to go. I am the firstborn daughter in a family of four. I didn't choose this. I found myself here, and apparently, there were no take-backs. In 1990, I arrived in this world, and for the past 35 years, I've been trying to make sense of my place within it. The reasons and meaning behind this journey are still things I'm working to understand. Perhaps that is a story best saved for another day. The first time I truly remember being a firstborn was likely on the same day I assumed the responsibilities of the eldest daughter. Interestingly, that day was frozen in time in a photograph. My mom was heading to work that morning. She needed to drop my sister and me off with a family friend since we didn't have a nanny. I was about 7 years old and my sister was 3. I held my sister's hand while we walked a narrow path between Mabati houses. It was a shortcut and my mom led the way. My sister tripped over a rock, fell, and scraped her knee. She started crying immediately. My mom picked her up, and once we reached the main road, handed her a handkerchief and wiped her knee. That was the moment we posed, big smiles on our faces, and the handkerchief still in my sister's hand. That might sound odd, but you must remember this was before smartphones. Whenever you met a photographer, and I use that term very loosely, they would always try to convince you to pose for a photo. Then about a week would go by before you'd receive the printed portrait. That's how we ended up with that photo. We bumped into Baba Moshiri. Back to this eldest daughter shenanigans. When my mom was ready to leave, my sister started crying again. My mom began to comfort her. She spoke softly, using that soothing tone mothers have when they must leave their babies behind. She told her she was going to the shop and would be back soon. A small white lie meant to soothe her worries. Then she told my sister that I would be with her the whole time, and that meant she'd be okay. My presence was offered as a guarantee of safety and comfort. In that moment, I was not thinking eldest daughter duties, but I knew I had to make sure she ate her lunch, drank her milk, and played with the other kids. It sounded straightforward. It was definitely not the first occasion I was left in charge of my sister with a supervising adult close by. But for some reason, this day stuck with me. Maybe it's because of the photo. That was over 20 years ago. Since then, my parents decided to have more children. 2 boys. I guess they wanted to even out the numbers, or maybe that's the story they told themselves. Over the years, I have cooked countless meals, changed diapers, and stayed top of my class, for the most part. And during school holidays, I spent my Saturday mornings doing laundry for the whole family. Yes, that included my father. Why I was cleaning my father's shirts and pants, I do not know. After laundry came the deep cleaning. Hopefully, I'd be done by 1 or 2 p.m. so I could rest before starting dinner prep at 4 p.m. While I did laundry, my sister did the dishes. Looking back, it feels like I was raising children. I was the family's mom, doing what a mother does, while my parents played the dad's role, the providers. Back then, I didn't realize what this meant. I just felt neglected. In our household, I didn't have a parent. Let me explain. For a long time, it was just the 3 of us and our parents before our youngest joined this circus. My sister was my dad's favorite, and my brother, my mom's. As they call them these days, Mama's boy. Yeah, she's paying for that now, in her own way. Then there was me, the one considered too mature for her age, the one who never needed much, the one who made do with crumbs, the one who had it together, the one no one thought they had to worry about, the one no one saw. It didn't matter how well she did in school, she was just smart. How tidy she kept the house, she was just responsible. There was always a convenient explanation for the neglect. Even after I moved out, in an attempt to get away from these unspoken responsibilities, the phone calls that still had me performing this role were never ending. There were times I would just watch the phone ring because I knew exactly what answering it came with. Despite being surrounded by people, I never felt appreciated, loved, or noticed. I was there to make everyone's life easier. No one seemed to care how mine could be easier. Being that girl has shaped every part of my adult life, my decisions, my friendships, my relationships. The common thread in all of them is this: I've always felt like I have to beg to be seen. It's as if I don't earn my place through effort, service, or self sacrifice, people will forget about me. When I'm not helping or giving, I feel like I'm of no value. I know that's not true, at least logically, but there are still moments where I find myself performing for love or attention, even from people I know are wrong for me. That's the thing with wounds that run deep. On the outside, you come off as this confident, don't care, self assured nonconformer. But underneath, you still are that little girl trying to prove that you deserve to be seen. Was I pushed so hard that I felt I had to pretend to not want what I truly craved? I've gone through some of the hardest moments of my life completely alone, even while being the one everyone else seems to lean on. People have always called me the strong friend. Definitely not a fan of that label. In my experience, it has meant facing my demons alone. I only come back once I've tamed them or convinced myself I have. Maybe expecting people to show up for me the same way I show up for them is a little too much. As the eldest daughter, you're not supposed to be too much. Your job is to figure out the problem, fix it, or have it pointed out to you if you don't. As a childless woman, I mostly hear from most of my family members when they need something. Never is it ever to check up on me. It doesn't matter what my state of mind is, what life issues I'm dealing with, or whether someone has broken my heart. I guess the dynamics haven't changed much since childhood. Whenever I've been honest about wanting something different, others have dismissed it. The worst line of it is, "You're Am, you've got this." No, I haven't got this. In fact, I haven't been gotting shit for a while. Yeah, I know that's not a real word, but I'm going to use it anyway. I have told a few friends that I could be drowning right next to them and they wouldn't even know it. Have you ever felt like there isn't enough room for your feelings in a situation? I've felt like this way too many times, and even when I said it out loud, I still wasn't heard. These days, I find myself preparing for a life where it's just me and my fur babies. The crazy cat lady life doesn't sound so bad given how relationships are going anyway. Yeah, I've seen those crying videos all over TikTok. Still, I'm building new rituals. I'm learning to create community through honesty, calling or texting someone when the darkness creeps in, reminding my friends that I love them, reminding myself that I love me. Every time I hear a love song, I let it be for me. I don't want to be waiting around for someone who might never show up for me to experience such small joys. I am mothering others less and less and allowing myself to show up as I am, discovering new ways to see myself with patience, all of me, because now I understand that's all little M ever wanted. I see her, and I hope you do too.